Guys, I know it's not my regular time, but I decided to pop in here while I'm working on this piece that I have going on here. I was going to come on at 4 today, but it has been a crazy day today. The shop that I have my paint in finally opened back up, so I went by there to put some stock in, and I delivered some paint, and then I came home. I had to go pick up a rug, and then I played rug roulette in my house for the next hour or so. Let me back up just a little bit. So it's just been kind of a crazy day, and I'm redoing these pieces. I love the finish on them, but the glass on the top I think was not appealing to customers, and so I decided I wanted to paint the top of them. So this glass is painted, okay? This was that amber glass. This is painted, and this one is going to get paint. This one here has the slick stick. I'm going to explain to you how I did that. Okay, so the first thing that you do when you're going to paint glass, and I've painted, I had another one of these, believe it or not, exactly like this, that I've already done a while ago. My best friend has it in her home, and you can paint glass tops, and they're very durable. She has, I think out of 9 of her kids, she has 6 still at home, and they're a crazy bunch of kids. And the little table's sitting right in the middle of her front room, and she told me that it's just been great. So if you ever find a glass tabletop and you don't like it, don't be afraid to paint it, okay? It can be painted. When you pop on, please let me know you're here and where you're watching from. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to try and get to the transfer up here. Hey, Marion. I don't know if I'll get to it this evening, but I'm going to show you something that I'm working on here. But before I do that, when you're painting the glass top, you want to use slick stick, okay? And this is the one that I have. See, this is how my week has been going. I came in here to sand my slick stick for my second coat and realized I put it on the wrong side of the glass. So that's how my week has been. Hi, Jackie. Jackie and I got to chat today. She gave me all kinds of good ideas for my new place. So I had to redo it. I had to turn it over and do the correct side. My husband was cracking up at me. So you put a coat on, and then you wait 2 hours, and then you put another coat on, okay? Now, the secret to slick stick is, I know a lot of people use a chip brush to put it on. I do not use a chip brush to put it on because it can leave brush strokes, and your paint is only going to be as good as its base. So if your slick stick has brush strokes, your paint is going to have brush strokes. Now, if you're doing a finish that you don't care about brush strokes, like if you're doing blending or you're doing, like a textured finish or whatever, doesn't matter. You can put the slick stick on however you want. But I always use one of my synthetic brushes, and I try to get as smooth of this finish as I can. So you put on your first coat, and then you let that dry for 2 hours. Then you put on your second coat, and then you let that dry overnight. The longer it dries, the better the adhesion. This has been already done. I've already sanded this. As you can see, it's perfectly smooth. The other tip is when you go, the reason I sand it, I use it with one of our sanding sponges, but I don't use a new one. I use one that's been used a bit, so it's more like a 320. Okay, sometimes even a 400. But all that does is it knocks off anything that might be in your paint so that it's smooth. So then when you put your paint on and you sand your paint between coats, you don't get any white little dots. Sometimes people get little white dots when they use slick stick, and then they think it's in the paint, but it's not in the paint. It's actually the slick stick. But you can avoid that if you just sand it back before your first coat of paint, okay? And then after it's dried overnight, you can start with your paint and whatever else that you want to do, okay? So that's how I did the glass. And if we can get to the transfer, we'll get to the transfer. But I wanted to show you, I have some new customers that want to learn some of the more decorative techniques and stuff. So I'm going to, hi Sherry, I'm going to do some black wax. And I did a little bit of dry brushing with Sawmill Gravy on the top of this. I'm not sure yet if this is where it's going to end. I might add this transfer that I'm using, the Sunflower Fields. It has a little bit of brown in it, and copper, and I might do a little bit of brown wax too. I'm not real sure yet, haven't decided. But this is going to go on the top, okay? And it won't be, it'll look like, it's going to look like that. So it's not going to have the white. So it's going to be, I think it'll be really pretty. I'm not going to use a whole transfer. I'm just going to piece a couple pieces together. But, so, this side is done so far with what I've done so far. So the first thing I did was I sprayed it with the Easy Peasy Wax, okay? I put this on here so that my paint won't absorb the wax so much that I can't wipe it back, okay? If you don't put something between your paint and your wax, you're going to have a hard time getting the wax to pull back off. Now, with this, it still does grab a bit, but not nearly as much as if you put it on there raw. And then after you put this on, you can do your decorative finishes. And then after all of that's dry, you can put on your gator hide or your clear coat, whatever you're going to use for your final coat. And, like some brands, wax is always last, but with Dixie Belle, wax is not last because it's water-based. So you can put wax on there. You can do your decorative finishes if you want. I don't normally use wax for like all over protection. I like to use the gator hide or the clear coat and satin. But so with Dixie Belle, you can paint and clear coat over your wax because it's water based. Now the gilding waxes that we have right now, I usually use those for just decorative, so I don't even put a top coat over those because they're oil based and they're very durable as they are. But the Best Dame wax, you can paint over and you can top coat over it. So I've already put this on here, but when you use the Easy Peasy Wax, there's something that you need to do that's very, very important. You need to shake it, okay? It'll say on here, shake well before using. When I sprayed these two pieces, I shook this probably about 4 times just to make sure. I want to shake it for you and see if you can hear the difference when you're shaking it, okay? Pretty soon you won't be able to hear it at all. As all of the ingredients go together. You hear that? Okay, so now it's completely, everything's together. Okay, I'm having a hard time talking tonight. I think I'm tired. But it's all shook up. Okay, and so if you don't do that, then the water separates from the wax. So you need to keep it shook, okay? All right, so I've already put this on here yesterday, and I've already started this side, and I did this in here. And I'm going to work on, ooh, sorry about that. See, you can hear it's actually glass. So I'm going to work on this piece right here. I'm going to bring y'all back behind me a little bit. I was trying to get my webcam to work, but for some reason, Facebook does not, can y'all see that okay? They do not want to recognize, I've got a glare, my webcam today. Had no problem at all with it working until I sat down here to go live. That's brown. That. All right, so I'm going to use the Best Dame Wax in Black. As you can see, I've used quite a bit of it, but this is the only one I've ever used. It lasts a really long time. I'm going to use baby wipes to wipe back some of it, and then I'm going to go over it with a shop towel. Because these baby wipes that I got are cheapies, and they tend to put some lint on. I'm going to use my French tip so I can get in all the areas real well, and I'm just going to rub it in. Okay, and I'm just going to add it. I remember the first time I started to wax with a friend of mine, Wendy. We used to be partners when I first started painting furniture, and she had never used wax before or glaze. Got a little hair in there. And I started slapping it on, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Just trust the process." You don't need to see me. It's been a long day. There we go. So I'm just going to smush the wax all in the cracks. I like it to be deep in the recesses. Sometimes I'll use a chip brush for this, but because I'm getting way down in there, I wanted the tip of the brush to get in there. And so I'm just going to get it in there as good as you can. Don't be afraid to work it in there. I love the look that the wax gives. It just, and I did this dry brushing on top of this. I may go back and paint back over that. I'm not 100% sure I like it. I'm going to play with it a little bit. I'm not going to do anything more to that until after I put the transfers on it to see if I need to do anything. I may just leave it. It may not need anything else. When you come on, say hi. Hi, Kelly. Hey, Kenny. This room, I don't know if y'all have heard me say this before, but my animals are not allowed in this room, but somehow I get hair in here. It must come under the door. It's not like I have a zoo out there either. I mean, it feels like it sometimes, but. And then I'm going to get all in here and these cracks here. And I have plenty of working time with this, okay? I don't have to worry about this getting so dry that I can't get it off, especially since I'm using a baby wipe. I'm going to get this up here. And I love this French tip because it's so soft. I can just put shadows wherever I want them to go. But it's such a nice soft brush. I love using the natural brushes for wax. They work, for me, they work the best. And like I said, most of the time I use a chip brush and I don't wash them. I do wash this one if I use it because I use this for other stuff. Okay, so I've got it all covered. Can you see that? It's all covered up. Hi, Rose from West Virginia. Elizabeth from Texas. Is that French linen? It sure is. It sure is. The sun is coming down. Let me move back. Y'all let me, well, I guess y'all can't let me know if I don't look back, but if the sun keeps coming down, we may have to move again, but there we go. I think you can see right there. Okay, so I'm going to grab my baby wipe and I'm just going to start pulling this back. And I can take off as much or as little as I want. And I'm just taking it off of all the high areas, okay? I need to find me a better source for baby wipes. I like using them because they're pretty tough, but this brand I got is not so great. But I'm going to take it off all my flat surfaces. And I'm thinking I'm going to paint back over that sawmill gravy. I don't think I like that. That was just a last minute, late night experiment last night, and I'm not digging it. And that's what I love about this Dixie Belle wax is I can do that. I can paint over it. I can top coat over it. You cannot do that with some other brands' waxes because they're petroleum or oil based. And so you have to use mineral spirits to remove it. Okay, I'm going to grab another one. And you see how easy this is to take it off. Now, if this was not, if I didn't have the wax, the wax underneath this, the Easy Peasy wax, then I would have to give this a little bit more elbow strength to get this wax off. But I'm basically just wiping it. I mean, I'm not pressing down. I will do that sometimes if I want a grungier look. I will leave the paint raw. But if you want a really clean wax to look, like some of this is you know, even staying on here and here. But if you wanted more of a clean, like almost like a pinstripe type thing, I would recommend using a top coat like the satin or even a gator hide, because you could put gator hide on here for your first coat of gator hide, and then do your waxes and stuff, and then you can, after that's dry, sometimes it can take 2 days, sometimes 3, depending on how heavy-handed you are with the wax, but as long as the wax doesn't come off on a white cloth, it's ready to be top coated. And you could put your first coat of gator hide down, and then after your wax, you could put a second coat down, and then you have your water repellent finish. And so that's it. So just to give you a kind of a rundown of what we've done. So this is what it looked like before. The sun is killing me. See that? And this is what it looks like now. So now we have all of these details in here that are showing. I love it. Let's see who else we've got. Kristen, hey. Mary Patricia, did you clear? I did not use, I used Easy Peasy wax. I didn't use the Best Staying Wax. I used this one because you can spray this on and then you can just wipe it back. It looks like Marion already answered that. Thank you. Patricia, thank you. The wax that I'm using is black. Best Staying Wax in black. That's this one right here. Okay. It is a water-based product. Okay, so now I'm just going to move. I have a drop cloth that's grabbing it. Okay. It's just been one of those kind of days, guys, I tell you. Ask my husband. Honey, has it been rough watching me today? I've been playing rug roulette in my house. I bought a rug and didn't like it with the other rug, so I was playing roulette with all my rooms. Okay, so now we're going to do this. So you can see how plain this looks, and now we're going to just give it some character. I'm just going to take my brush, just like I did there, and I'm going to go around. And you could even, so let me just, you could also highlight it. So you can, oh, hey, Elizabeth from Philadelphia. You can also take your brush, and I'll do it right here just to show you, okay? You can take your brush and just, you can lightly go over the top like this and highlight it, you see? So you can use the, hang on one second, let me unplug this thing. One moment, I shouldn't be tied down like this. I don't need this on here. Okay. I want to just show you the difference because I'm not doing it this way, but I want to show you what you can do. So you can take it. Can you? Okay, it's screaming at me to turn my phone. So you can take it and you can just highlight it like this. So whatever look that you're going for, you can do it both ways. You can have the lighter area be in your recessed areas or the darker area. It's up to you. Thank you, Kristen. It's only the second time I've painted this piece. I think you were around for the first round, were you not? Okay. So I'm going to just go in here, and I'm just going to do this leg real quick. We'll just do this top part, and then I'll show y'all how to apply the transfer I have up there. Because you don't need to see me do the whole thing. But I want you to see how easy and how fast you can do this. I'm just going to take it down this leg because I want it in this recessed area here. Kristen, you need to let me know also how, what I owe you for the Prima stuff. Do you wait? Do you have to wait after you spray the wax before you do the top? Marion, the Easy Peasy wax dries in 30 minutes. So basically by the time I started this one and ended this one, I was ready to start back. I was able to start right away last night. So you just spray it on. You put a light coat on of the Easy Peasy wax. And again, make sure it's very well shipped. And then after that you apply it, you take a lint-free cloth and just kind of wipe it back a little bit so you have even coverage, and then you leave it alone. Now the Easy Peasy wax does have to be reapplied over time, and so I don't use it for a protective thing, but I do use it for this. And I also like to use it on canvases, things that are not going to be used heavily. You can use them very easily. You can use it and leave it. You wouldn't have to reapply it. It's a very versatile product, actually. So I'm just going to take this, and I'm just taking it off the high parts. And that sun's coming in my window. It's going to chase me. It's chasing me around the room. I don't usually come live at this time, so I wasn't actually prepared for the sun to do this to me. So I apologize to you guys for all of the moving around. But do you see how with just a little bit of effort you can make all of this beautiful detail just pop out? And you can do it either way. You can have the dark on top, like I did over here, or you can have the dark in the recess. I feel like that when it's dark in the recess, it looks more natural as far as, you know, if this was an older piece and with time, you know, back in the day, people used to wax their furniture, clean it, and it probably would collect dust and dirt. And so it's like making it look dirty, but it's not. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but for me it does. But I'm thinking I like this better without the white brush that I did over there, the Sawmill Gray. So I'm thinking I'm going to just keep this simple like this. And a good way to practice this is sometimes if you go to your Habitat store, you can find moldings really inexpensively. And just use those moldings to practice your waxes. You can paint them, practice wax, repaint it. I got some really long pieces for like $3 from the Habitat Restore. And it's a really good economical way to practice without, you know, being overwhelmed by putting it on a piece of furniture and then thinking that, you know, you're going to ruin it. Because you're not. That's what's so great about this painting. All the parts play so nicely together. And if Kristen's on here still, she can attest to that. They do play nice. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Okay, who's coming in here? Hello? What you need? Do you want to do a cameo? Did you hear my husband? He's I just want to see your pretty face. He's just being a pain in the butt. I've been hard on him today with all the rug moving around. So Marion says that table has such a beautiful depth our time finding stuff like. Yes, see, Kristen's right. They do play nice together. Marion, these tables it was so strange. The first one I got, I had another one exactly like this, Kristen, and I was at the Goodwill and I didn't see anything I liked, and I heard someone pushing this thing across the floor. They were just bringing it out to the floor, and it was the glass that I could hear shaking. So I grabbed that one up, like $20. And then it wasn't too long after that someone on Marketplace had these. So I grabbed them up because it is, you know, if you can get them inexpensively, it's a really good way of practicing all your techniques and stuff. Like I said, this is the second time that I've painted these. I'm going to bring y'all up and try not to make you dizzy. And I'm going to try, let me see. Hang on. Like I said, I've never done a live at 6 in this room before. And let me put my blinds down. I don't know if that's going to help any, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm thinking, let me raise you up a little bit more. Okay. I'm trying to get y'all in here where you can see. Maybe I'll back you up. There we go. Okay. So when you're putting on a transfer, they're not hard. I'm going to grab my little tool here. I'm so organized that I can't find anything. Yeah, because I organized everything, and so now nothing is where it used to be. Okay, so to do a transfer, you only need raw paint. You do not want to top coat your paint with anything before you put a transfer on. Now, I have heard people do it, say that they've done it and had success, but they don't recommend it. Let's put it that way. Kristen, have you ever put a transfer on a top coated piece? And if you did it work? Let's ask someone else. Kristen is another retailer from Ware, Massachusetts. So if you're in her area, you should hit her up to be a retailer. So this transfer, I'm thinking of putting it, so I've already sanded this. So this has had the slick stick. I've sanded this glass. It's ready to roll. So I'm thinking, I have a hard time deciding where I'm going to place stuff, but I'm thinking I'm going to put this here. And then I'm going to put like just a little piece over here. Because I'm thinking, you're going to put a lamp on here. And then it comes with this backing. And I'm just going to pull the backing. And I'm going to just kind of hold it over it. I have a very hard time visualizing without actually taking the paper off. So my glass comes to here. So I'm going to put it right on the edge there. And I need to, well, I was going to move it over, but I'm not going to move it over because it's stuck. Okay. Okay, so Kristen has used it on top of top coat. Now, I've always been told not to use it. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. See, it's always good to try to ask someone else. I've always used it on raw. So Marianne says she did satin and then the transfer, and it helped with the outside edge. I've never really had a problem with the halo effect. I'm not sure if it's just the transfers. I have not used a lot of transfers. It could be that, I just, whichever ones. I think some of them show more halo than others. I am not an expert on them, but I do dig them in certain circumstances. And this is one of my favorite ones. I think it's called Sunflower Fields. Let me see, I have the thing over here. Sunflower Farms. So this is the one that I'm using right here. I think it's like putting it on a non-porous surface like glass, the top coat. Okay, I see. So Nicole's done it both ways. Good. I'm glad you guys are chiming in. So people can do it both ways. Maybe it's the putting something over the top of it that's the issue. I usually use a satin top coat over mine. I like satin. I know a lot of people prefer a flat look, but I like the gator hide sheen and the satin sheen. Now, it could be just the types of pieces that I've worked on, because I think some pieces look better with a flat top coat, and some pieces look better with, like I did a piece for a woman. I did a custom design for someone. And she had a very modern house, and so we did her fireplace surround in fluff and high gloss. It was gorgeous. It had to have high gloss. Her house was the bloomiest, most beautiful. She had bling everywhere. So it fit right in. And Marion says, I've heard that you should do it on the raw paint, but it seems to work fine. Well, good. Okay. And that's why it's good to ask, because, especially with products that may be newer and haven't been around, and I know there's another retailer, Carolyn Muncie. She actually will paint a little bit around the transfer. She'll mix colors. She's an artist, and she'll mix colors and paint around the transfer, and it gives the transfer a very natural painting look. I thought about trying that, but I haven't tried it before. So once you start to get it burnished on here, you just start pulling it back, and wherever it doesn't seem to want to release, just keep rubbing it on. Does anybody have any plans for this weekend? I'm moving into a new booth in another area, and I found out today, I thought it was going to be like a week before I had to move into it, and I found out today that I could start moving in. So I had a little panic moment. So that's what I'm doing this weekend. I'm going to try and figure out what I'm going to be doing over there. I'm excited but nervous because I have not done a booth in I had one a long time ago, and I had a partner at the time, and I've never done it by myself. And so I'm a little nervous. I hope it works out. It's a 4-month contract to start out with, so you know, what's 4 months, right? That's what can possibly happen in 4 months. Oh gosh. So if my sister-in-law, I think she's not on here anymore. I think she jumped off. But I'm gonna be close to where she is, over in an area called Fleming Island. So if you're watching in your local, I'll be over at Junk in the Trunk in Fleming Island. So I'll have my premier location will be at Antiques for You in Orange Park, and then I'm gonna have another smaller display over at Junk in the Trunk. And if everything works out and it does really well, then I'll try and make that one a premier location too. But for now, the plan is just to keep it. I'll have all the most popular colors there and all of the products that are that you can do a project from start to finish. I ordered my paint today, so I'm excited, but I'm nervous. If Jackie's still on here, Jackie helped me out today. She gave me some really good ideas. There you go. So that's right, Marion. So like on this piece, I think this is going to blend pretty nicely on here. I think because it's a lighter color. But you know, I mean, I've already painted it once. I could always play around with it. I'm not afraid of playing around with it. But now that I'm going to be busy doing this booth, I'm a little nervous about time. I've got to make sure I don't waste my time. That's one thing I do need to do is I need to make a schedule. I need to get myself more organized. And I think y'all can probably relate. Almost done. It's just about ready to pull. Just a couple more areas. But I think this is going to be really pretty. I know this transfer looks kind of fallish, but it's one of my favorites. I don't know why I'm drawn to it. If it's just the colors in it, because it's really not the colors of my house. This wouldn't go in my house. Okay, so now that's on. And I've got a little bit of a edge here, so I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I can layer a piece over this if I wanted to. If I wanted to bring this out some, and I may. But let me show you how we burnish these after they're done. Oh, Marion, I would love that. Come on, girl. What color? The table, Melissa? This is French linen. French linen. Let me find my... Okay. I had another little piece Not one of these. Here it is. Okay, so this is the finishing pad that I cut a piece off of it. And I'm going to burnish this down because one of the things this is a very important step, okay? Because you want to make sure all of your edges are completely burnished into the piece. If you don't do this step and then you top coat this, you may wake up in the morning to it peeling up, okay? So this is a step that you don't want to rush. You want to go along. And as I'm doing this, let me see. Burnish is just what I'm doing. I'm rubbing it and making sure it's completely adhered. And I don't know that y'all are going to be able to see this on camera. Let me bring you closer, see if we can. See, this is why I wanted to use my, oops, I don't know what I just did. Okay, this is why I like to use my webcam because I cannot get my phone. I'm going to have to lean it like this. Let me see if I can. So these edges here, as I burnish this, they're going to kind of melt into the paint, okay? And you can see them as they get like say bubbles. Like they don't really have bubbles in them per se, but it's almost like they disappear, okay? So as you burnish it, the edges disappear, okay? And I think the reason I haven't really had a problem, let me pull this closer. The name of the transfer, this is Sunflower Farms from Redesign with Prima. So the reason I think I don't ever have a problem with the halo effect is I've only done transfers on lighter colors. I've done one with the Stormy Seas. It's a darker color than this, but it's still, I would consider it, lighter. But see, these are disappearing. I cannot see them. And they're a little bit slightly on the shinier side than the paint. But once I add my top coat, then that will go away as well. And remember, this is glass, okay? And I am rubbing on here, and this paint is not budging. Okay. Sometimes when I burnish, it might pull up a little piece of the transfer, but I don't mind it because to me it almost looks more natural when there's a little bit, that it's not perfect on the edges. Like this edge right here is a very straight edge. See that right there? Okay. I might actually put another piece over that. Marion, pretty good. We are doing pretty good on the color guide. Marion is the one. Hello, Kate. Marion helped me edit my my Perfect Palette color guide, and it's based off of the color wheel, and it uses all of the Dixie Belle colors. So it is. I have one somewhere. So Marion Marco, she helped me with this. So this is what it looks like. It's 21 pages. It has all different combinations of colors that you can pick from. Yay! Yeah. And so it has different combinations that look good together. And then at the back of it, I put just a planner on here for your projects to keep track of what color combinations you like. And it has a few ideas in here of what doesn't look well together. And that's on my website at paintfixation.com. Yeah, I've been doing pretty good with that, Mary, and I've gotten such good feedback on it too, which it makes me feel good that people are finding it useful. But this is just about done. And I'm just going to go over it just one more time. Okay. So what I'm thinking is I might take this leaf, okay, let me see, and lay that over, let me see. I've got little pieces of this left because I'm not sure how I feel about this edge right here. So what do y'all think? Do you think I should layer this? I can always put this back on here if I don't touch it. So what do y'all think? Do you think I should put that on there? I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. Oh, thank you, Kay. What happened to my tool? Okay. So I'm going to layer this one over the top of this one. And then I probably won't do any more over here. I was going to maybe put something in the corner. But I'm not liking the way this kind of had a curve to it. So I'm going to layer this on top of this one. Because in nature, nothing is perfect. Okay. So I'm just going to lay these on top of this one. And I think it'll actually make it look more natural too, having. And I'm going to even keep this little leaf here. And that's what I like about these transfers. I mean, we don't sell them anymore. We have a few left maybe on the website. I'm not sure. You can get them. So Kristen Rosenbeck, who's on here right now, she is a Redesign with Prima retailer. So if you want a transfer, her page is Lost and Found Mercantile, and she can help you with your Redesign with Prima. Right, Kristen? Thank you, Samantha. Ooh, that'll be so pretty, Sherry. That is another pretty one. I'm actually getting another one of these. Kristen just ordered me one of these. I'm thinking about, for this shop, the new booth that I'm doing, I'm thinking about maybe doing some welcome signs or hello signs and adding some transfers to them. What do y'all think? Let's see how this goes. It looks like it's going to work. You know, I started doing this and I just realized I've never layered them before. Oh, gosh. I crack myself up sometimes. It's like live video. Let's do something for the very first time. This is kind of my motto, because every time I have someone to my house to have dinner for the first time, I kid you not, this is not planned. Every time I make something new. I make something I've never made before. I don't know why, because I have plenty of recipes in my book that I know are tried and true. But every time I have someone over for dinner, for whatever reason, in my brain, I think it's a good idea to make a recipe for the very first time. Who else does that? Yes, Kristen, I think that's a good idea. No, Marion, Dixie Belle's not selling the transfers anymore. You'll have to find a Redesign, and she's right here, right below you in the comments, Kristen Rosenbeck. You can hit her up, and she can help you. And if you're not following her, you should. Oh, and Kristen, I made a sign. You didn't see it last night. Let me grab it. What'd I do with it? There it is. Okay, so for y'all that are still on here, this is what I've made. If you haven't already done so, do this. It's backwards. I had my webcam last night and it was forward. But can you read it? So I can't say the word, but I can ask you to do it. And if you don't already do this, can you do this? If you do this, then you'll be notified when I go live. Okay, that's everybody keeps telling me, because I feel weird spelling this, and I don't, some people use weird code words, because Facebook doesn't like it, to say it. But I made this beautiful sign, so y'all can do this for me. Thank you. Oh, good, Sherry does that. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is about. Why I think that's a good idea to make a meal. Okay, see that? Oh, I like that. So now it's like all together. Isn't that cool? Why are you not allowed? Sarah, so the Facebook algorithm, it does not like us to ask or say those words. If you say those words in a live video on your business page, Facebook will suppress your video. Okay? I don't know why they do it that way. I think the idea behind it is they want people to do it organically. But usually, and I'm guilty of this, if I'm watching a video, I get so into it, I don't think about doing that. But if someone asks me on the video, I'll do it. But it can be hard on small businesses to get ourselves out there if you don't do this. Do you see what I'm saying? So for me being a small business, trying to grow my page locally, this is important. So I have new customers. I have like 3 new customers that they found me because someone did this and it showed up in their feed. Hey.
Hi.
I have a cameo.
I have a cameo.
There's my daughter.
It's
hey. Are y'all leaving?
Yeah.
No. You gotta wait.
Why?
I'm almost done. Because I gotta say goodbye to Kennedy.
Okay, well, hurry up.
Tell her she can come in for a cameo.
I'm rushing you.
Okay. That's my daughter. Just tell her to come say goodbye.
Well, you just had to wait.
No, she can come say goodbye.
Okay.
They're going on a trip to Georgia. Okay. So did I answer that question, Sarah? So that's just to find, because I do have 2 places now where I sell my paint locally. It was nice to know that these 3 customers found me because my video showed up in their feed. It wouldn't happen if people didn't share it. Hey! I have my other daughter. Here's my other daughter. These are my beautiful girls. They're gonna come give me a kiss goodbye. So we're quarantining together in the house, so we're allowed to do this.
Don't do this
y'all,
with random strangers.
Y'all, please be careful.
We will. Love you. Huh?
Okay, Catherine, you're driving?
Yeah.
Y'all be careful and call me when you get there.
I won't call you, but I'll text you. It's going to be at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, and leave your Snapchat mat on, so I know you're okay. Okay.
All right, bye.
All right, I love you. Sorry, guys. Those are my babies. I gotta make sure they're okay. They're driving to Atlanta. So, okay, what do y'all think? I like it. So we layered two of them together. We just pieced them together. And I'm digging it. Thank you, Kristen. All the hearts. So does anybody have any questions? So for those of you that are just popping on that weren't here earlier, this is a glass top that I painted. And here's the other one. I have a pair. Here's the other one. This one's got a slick stick on it. Is there anybody on here that doesn't know how to use slick stick? Or doesn't know some of the tricks and stuff for it? I can just quickly go back over it. When you're using slick stick, you want to make sure that your first coat is smooth, okay? Because if it's not smooth, then your paint is not going to be smooth. Okay, so this is slick, like it feels just like glass. There's no bumps, there's no brush strokes, nothing. It's just as smooth as can be. But if I had used a brush like a chip brush, a premium chip brush would probably work, but a regular chip brush would leave brush strokes. And because slick stick is not self-leveling, those brush strokes are going to stay. And then when you put your paint on there, you're going to have, those brush strokes are going to show through your paint. The other tip that I like to give is before you put your first coat of paint on, actually I sand between my slick stick coat. So I put my first coat on, let it dry for 2 hours, then I sand it one more time, or the first time I sand it, put my second coat on, and then I put the next day, so you have to let it wait overnight. So the next morning I will give it another sanding, because you know that the air, you have lint and whatever, and sometimes even in your paint you might have a little paint daub or something. If that is on your slick stick and you paint over it and then you sand your paint, you're going to have little white flecks in your paint, which I did in this one. I had one little tiny one, but I had to put another coat of paint on here. So I just made sure I sanded it back. And if you do have a white little fleck, don't worry. Just sand it flat and just put another coat of paint on it. It's just a step you shouldn't have to do if you do all of the steps properly. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to let you go. If you didn't catch the beginning of the video, we did wax first. So I'll bring you back down here just for a recap. So we learned how to do the wax here, okay? And we did a little bit here. And this is what it looked like before. So this is my other one. So it looked like this. That's not the one I did. Hang on. This is the one I did over here. So I'll see if y'all can see the difference. Okay. So can you see the difference between those two tables? This one is just French linen, straight French linen paint. There's nothing done to this one. And this one has the black wax, the Best-Dang wax, and the cracks. Okay? And I did do some dry brushing on the other side, actually right here. I did a little bit of dry brushing right here, but I'm not digging it. I'm going to paint back over this, and I'm going to leave it like this. That's how I'm going to leave it. And then I'm just going to call it done. And then I'm going to put some black wax up here too. I'll put some around the edges, shade this in a little bit, and then I'll coat the whole thing with gator hide on the top to give it a nice finish look. But, so that is how you do that. Now, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If there are any techniques that you want to know more about, please let me know, because I'm happy to schedule a live based on what you want to learn. That's what I'm here for. I actually prefer to do lives based on what people ask for, not just necessarily what I'm working on. And if y'all can wish me luck with my new location, that'd be great. Maybe say a prayer that it all works out. It's going to be an adventure for me. I'm a little nervous, but we'll see. I think it'll be okay. But I hope everybody is having beautiful weather like we are having here in Florida, so that you can enjoy your weekend. Hopefully some of y'all are in states that are starting to open up a little bit, and maybe you can do something fun. But I will catch you later. I might be back. I probably won't be here tomorrow because I've got so much to do with that shop, but I'll be back Monday. And also in the comments, if you could let me know, I've been doing 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock lives. Let me know which one you prefer, 4 p.m. or 6 p.m. That'd be a big help too. Anyway, I'll catch you later. Thanks a lot. Bye.